Hey guys, Leftward out here, and today I wanted to go over the new weapons that were released as part of Act 2 in Season of Echoes. For those who don't know, these weapons are Aberrant Action, Corrasion, Perfect Paradox, and Wild Style. It is worth noting that Wild Style is not technically a new weapon, but it has had a massive perk refresh, and this is the first week it has been available since then. Starting with Aberrant Action, it is probably the most anticipated weapon of the season, being a new rocket sidearm and all. The god roll is pretty firmly heal clip and incandescent. Heal clip is always good perk, giving 2 stacks secure to yourself and 1 stack to an ally within 15 meters. This also synergizes with Ember Benevolence if you're using a solar subclass to regenerate your abilities quicker. In addition to this, after using it for a while, heal clip seems to be really effective on these rocket sidearms. They are very ammo efficient and fairly high damage, meaning you can consistently one-shot a lot of adds before running out of ammo. On top of that, their high handling and reload speed make it really easy to swap over, dink an add, and reload to gain back most of your health. I'll personally be running the gun just for this, but Incandescent kicks this gun up a notch yet again. Incandescent causes final blows with this weapon to scorch nearby enemies by 30 stacks or 40 when using a solar subclass with Ember of Ashes, which is increased to a further 45 when enhanced. This is a nice little add clear buff to most weapons and synergizes with most solar fragments. However, the origin trait of this weapon directly buffs this trait. Radioloria Transposer creates a pull of Radioloria on the third enemy killed in rapid succession. This pull damages any enemy that steps into it over time and will activate any weapon traits the base weapon has. This includes Incandescent, meaning you'll often find yourself randomly scorching enemies that you weren't even shooting at. In addition to this, both Incandescent and Scorch can both cause weapon final blows, meaning you'll often create these pulls without firing the weapon as well. Regarding the stat perks for this weapon, just use whatever maxes out your blast radius. This will make it easier to kill more adds quickly and in turn cause more Scorch and better add clear. This means you'll want Volatile Launch for the barrel, high explosive ordnance for the magazine, and a blast radius Masterwork. Finally, for the weapon mod, just use a backup mag. This increases your mag size to 13 from 10 and increases your total reserves from 46 to 48. Now for the other seasonal weapon, Corrasion, which is one of the new 2-round burst arc pulse rifles. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get the roll on this weapon that I want, but I'm fairly confident in the god roll of this weapon. The fourth column has some decent perks, but the best would probably be Bolt Shot. It acts as both an add clear perk and a damaging perk, along with being synergistic with arc subclasses. Along with Bolt Shot, you'll want a good reload perk to consistently activate it, which would be Enlightened Action. This trait gives stacks of itself on weapon hits up to 12 times, each increasing both handling and reload up to a max stacks at 55 when enhanced. This brings our total reload stat to 91 out of 100 at maximum stacks. Now for the barrel magazine and Masterwork, you'll want to go ahead and throw on Hammer-Forged Rifling for additional range, Tactical Mag to maximize your reload stat and grant a few more rounds in the magazine, and finally a Range Masterwork to increase your range to 95. As usual for most weapons, go ahead and put on a backup mag to delay the time between reloads. The final weapon added to this act is the Season of Dawn reprisal, Perfect Paradox. At the time of this video going up, you cannot currently obtain it, however, its data is currently available in the Destiny 2 API. For starters, it is a kinetic rapid-fire frame shotgun, with an origin trait that helps us spec into the melee traits of the shotgun. Cast No Shadows allows this weapon to refill 20% of its magazine from reserves on melee hits. Since a shotgun can only get 7 to 8 rounds in a magazine, this translates to 2 shots reloaded per melee hit. This combos really well with Trench Barrel or 1-2 Punch. Trench Barrel will increase this weapon's damage by 50% for the next 3 shots after a melee hit, and additionally, while the buff is active, you will get 30 reload and handling. 1-2 Punch will increase your next instance of non-range melee damage by 100% after hitting all your shotgun pellets. Either of these traits will work fine on a roll and just come down to personal preference. Third column also has some pretty good choices as well, Field Prep and Pugilist. The other options in this column tend to be more reload focused, which Cast No Shadows already takes the role of. The main purpose of Field Prep would be to increase your ammo reserves, but it only increases it by 3 rounds. It is also worth noting that this will increase your reload speed and handling while crouched, but this tends to be fairly irrelevant. Pugilist is probably the option you should be going for, as it will grant you 20% energy to your charged melee ability. This just plays nice into the melee loop of the shotgun, and will help you pull off combos involving your charged melee. This also buffs your handling by 35 after dealing melee damage, which will help you when using 1-2 punch or trench barrel. With all that said, I would suggest maxing out the range of the other perks on this weapon. Small bore for the barrel, accurized rounds for the magazine, and a ranged masterwork. Finally, for the mod, just use backup mag, unless you're using field prep, as for whatever reason, backup mag will decrease your reserves by 1 shell when using field prep. If that's the case, I would just use free hand grip to make it easier to hit your pellets while hip firing. While these are the only new weapons added as part of Act 2, I wanted to go over Wild Style, as it has gone over a complete makeover in its perk pool, and I personally think it has become one of the best special ammo grenade launchers in the game because of that. This grenade launcher is not great in its traits, but also its frame. It is one of the only 2 double-fire grenade launchers. These intrinsically have higher damage than their single-shot counterparts by nearly 40%. On top of this, if you decide to use disorienting grenades, they will cover a greater area due to firing 2 grenades. This grenade launcher is also solar, meaning you can match Surges with Apex Predator, the best rocket launcher in the game. For the third column, the choice is pretty obvious. Reconstruction is the best perk for the weapon. It increases its magazine size to 2 and automatically reloads the weapon. Automatic reloads are the bread and butter of grenade launchers, and the fact that reconstruction can double the size of the magazine is just icing on the cake. However, there's a unique interaction to be had with Grave Robber. Since Grave Robber's buff, you are able to reload a weapon just by charged melee damage. This can allow you to reload it several times in a row, much quicker than what reconstruction would allow. The problem with this is melee charge. The melees I think can make great use of this trait would be Tides with throwing hammers or Warlocks with Arcane Needle. For the fourth column, there are 2 clear picks, Surrounded and Bane Switch. When enhanced, Surrounded will give you a 47% damage increase when within 15 meters of 3 or more enemies. This is one of the biggest damage buffs in the game and is gained passively, but the criteria for activation makes it inconsistent to activate, so I generally wouldn't go for a roll with it. But if I happen to get this roll, I would definitely keep it. On the other hand, Bane Switch is incredibly easy to activate, and this weapon acts as a great tool for weapon swapping, meaning you are going to activate it and use the buff multiple times in a damage rotation. This is all on top of being one of the best damage buffs in the game at 30%. For the other barrel masterwork and weapon mods, you will want to gain as high of handling as possible, so you can swap to and from this weapon quicker. For the barrel, this will be quick launch at 15 handling and of course of handling masterwork. This brings your handling up by 25 total points to 78. Quick launch will also increase this weapon's velocity by 10 to its maximum of 100, which is always nice to have on a grenade launcher. For your weapon mod, use quick access sling, even if your weapon is adept. This is because quick access sling works on the scalar of 10% and will do more than an adept handling mod. This is because quick access sling works on a scalar at 10%. None of your magazine options will increase your handling, and even if they did, you would want to run them anyways. Spike grenades are the best choice, as they increase your grenade's impact damage by 12.5%. Since this only affects impact damage, it isn't so big that I would worry about getting it over every other magazine option. But if you get it, then use it. On the other hand, if you get proximity grenades, do not use them. They reduce your total damage by excluding any impact damage and decrease your explosive damage. For another good magazine option, disorienting grenades are ideal for this grenade launcher frame. These decrease your grenade launcher's damage by a total of 25%, but allow you to blind any enemies that are caught in, quite frankly, a stupidly large radius. They won't deal any direct damage, but your enemies won't shoot back and will walk slowly. This makes them incredibly easy targets, and the grenade launcher a great add clear option as well. Make sure to combine this perk with reconstruction, and I'm fairly sure this becomes the second best blinding grenade launcher in the game. Hey guys, Leftward out here because I forgot to record an intro on the original take. But if you like the video, please leave a like, and if you like the content overall, go ahead and subscribe to see some more. If you want to see some more Destiny content, that playlist is in the description as well. Have a good one, y'all.